Billions of stars, thousands of possible paths, and a stupendous multitude of strange and beautiful things. I was planning on moving quickly towards the Perseus Arm, but the way towards this week's waypoint proves to be a cornucopia of distractions. What looks like a blue smudge here is a stunning nebula, born out of the death of a massive star. Its remains formed a neutron star, flooding the place with radiation. And yet, on a small moon in this very system, life. I begin collecting samples of the various life forms on this planet. They will be the first of many in this week. There are also new findings from our scouts. This ice moon, orbiting close to a gas giant with black lineae cutting into its icy surface, was discovered by Commander Centuvi. Moving on, I find more things to stop for. A geologically active planet with fumaroles and volcanic vents spewing vapor and lava. More life in the form of tree-like plants stretching to the sky, forming small forests. And another species that prefers to stick more closely to the ground. I also find this rocky moon, not unlike the one orbiting Earth. Two huge craters dominate the northern hemisphere, staring blindly into space. It looks like shadow was poured into one and light into the other. Both craters are quite deep and have sharp edges. Perfect for base jumping. The amount of scouting reports is staggering. Commander Helpy has sifted through this mass of reportings from the fleet's scouts and once more combined the best of them in a travel guide for the week. The Green Nebula, discovered by Commander Electron 1984, as well as the moon with the Black Linnae, were but the first of the POIs listed here. Another is this potato-shaped moon of a Class 4 gas giant, again a find of Commander Santuvi. But the undisputed highlight of the second week is this planet, where the Stellar Nebula project will host the expedition's first meetup. Its atmosphere consists entirely of water, mostly scattering blue light, creating a striking mimicry of Earth's sky. An oasis for life, home to 8 different species. On my landing site, strange mussel-like organisms grow in the sand, their tear-shaped shells protecting them from radiation while capturing water from the air. Green tussock grass sways in a light breeze, while cactoids protrude into the sky, standing firm like statues. The starlight is battering hard on the surface. Temperatures on the dayside seldom fall below 160 degrees Celsius. Unicellular lifeforms create impressive discs like this one, acting as a rigid endoskeleton. I drive around the area, finding more life. Across a canyon. And climb up a mesa overlooking the bluish desert. Cracks and hillsides, rocks and sand. At last, I pause for a moment to take in the peace and quiet of this desolate land. The breeze whispering stories of eternity and transience. It's night at the meetup coordinates when I arrive. Me and 2 other commanders briefly get together early when we learn that the meetup location has been relocated. Hastily, we head to the dayside. Then the fun starts. We get into our SRVs, unleashing a frenzy of mad driving and stunts.
Why you had to hide away for so long? Where did we go wrong? Mr. Blue Sky. us why you had to hide away for so long. Where did we go wrong?
Of course, no meetup is complete without a group shot.
Welcome to the human race. A celebration, Mr. Blue Skies up there waiting. And today is the day we've waited for. Oh, Mr. Blue Sky, please tell us why you
Afterwards, we take off in our ships, doing some formation flying close to the ground. Sometimes too close.
Mr. Blue, it's a place to be with you. Look around, see what you do. Everybody smiles at you. Hey there, Mr. Blue, it's a place to be with you. Look around, see what you do. Everybody smiles at you.
The landing after that thrilling flight is quite welcome. But the party doesn't stop here. Again, we gather in our scarabs, excited to see that one commander even has brought a Scorpion, a brand new model just recently released by Vodal. Then it's pedal to the metal in a race to the mountains.
There's a road I'd like to tell you about, lives in my hometown. Lakeshore Drive, the road is called, and it'll take you up or down. From rats on up to riches, 15 minutes you can fly. Pretty blue lights along the way, help you right on by. And the blue lights shining with a heavenly grace, help you right on by. Like it, anywhere I found. Running south on Lakeshore Drive, getting into town. Just slipping on by on LSD, fighting that trouble bound. And it starts up north from Hollywood, water on the driving side. Concrete mountains rearing up, throwing shadows just about 5. Sometimes you can smell the green if your mind is feeling fine. There ain't no finer place to be than running Lakeshore Drive. And there's no peace of mind the place you see, riding on Lakeshore Drive. Anywhere I found, running south on Lakeshore Drive, getting into town. Just slipping on by on LSD, riding that trouble bound.
Celebration at the summit with a laser show. We even try to build a pyramid with our SRVs, with rather mixed results.
Gold Coast back makes you show your pleasure bound. And it's 4 o'clock in the morning and all the people have gone away. Just you and your mind at Lakeshore Drive, and tomorrow is another day. And the sun shines fine in the morning time. Tomorrow is another day. And there ain't no road just like it.
More shenanigans ensue when a few of us park their SRVs on the hull of an anaconda for some rodeo.
Taking on my own LSD, fighting that trouble bound.
It is safe to say that this meetup is one of the most exciting ones I've ever experienced on an expedition, and Commander Kubitux, who organized it, did a great job. I'm a little sad when we concluded with a mass jump. Adventure calls again, showing itself in one of its oldest manifestations. Mountains. Stuff of dreams and nightmares for humankind since millennia. Equally crushers of souls and havens of triumph. Defeated, as it seems, only by time itself. And on this moon discovered by Commander Monohive, there are a lot of them. This is where an SRV with a powerful fusion reactor really comes in handy. The climb is steep and treacherous, with gradients of over 70 degrees and narrow ridges to get stuck on. On a particularly sharp edge, halfway to the top of the mountain, my SRV gets irreversibly jammed. With no hopes of freeing it, I have no choice but to leave it behind and continue on foot. The path gets even more dangerous, with stretches lying in the dark, seemingly asking for a deadly misstep. Shortly before the summit, a razor-sharp ridge path merely a foot wide, with dizzying depths to either side, where every step can be the last. With the summit reached, an awe-inspiring panorama unfolds around me. All those mountains will be here long after us. To some, it might seem as climbing on top of one is a pointless symbolic act of defiance against the finiteness of our existence. And still, it feels great to defy it, if only for a second. As always, this comes at a cost. I have to leave the SRV behind, and can only watch the automatic self-destruction sequence as I leave the planet. Luckily, I'm able to get a new one on the extended warranty and continue on. Beautiful rings of ice. Desert forests and plants. Strange things in the dark. Vistas and planets. All this zips by and blends together as I move to our fourth waypoint. A breathtaking planetary clockwork discovered by Commander Dr. Galactose. A ringed gas giant with a huge outer ring, orbited by its ringed icy moon with an odd orbital inclination. It is perhaps the best place to crown this week of abundant splendor, and yet the most is still to be discovered. Out there in the black.